Welcome back to Half Moon's Picks. Let's talk about the NFC South. First, I'd like to talk about the New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints, what they do in the offseason? Well, they signed safety Kurt Coleman from Carolina. You know, they do the strengthening of that defense. They signed Cameron Meredith from Chicago. Like I said, they didn't do too much. They still have the great team they have now. They signed up a backup quarterback, Tom Savage, from Houston as the backup to Breeze. They're also trying out a couple kind of rookies. These, like Drew Brees is getting 39. His long ball don't seem to be there anymore, in my opinion. But the short game is there with, great running threats and great pass receivers, great wide receivers, tight ends. The whole offense looks great. Just the defense is, probably the worst defense I've ever seen in my life. You can tell that with the playoff game, the Minnesota Vikings last year. Last play of the game, could the defense hold them one play? No, See, the two rookies that they're looking at, Taysom Hill from BYU. He played in the Packers preseason last year, and JT Barrett, another undrafted free agent from Ohio State. They're trying them off in the preseason, seeing if any of them have anything. Like I said, they're just looking right now for, maybe Breeze, last year. I don't know. He's getting long in the tooth. 39. All right, so they do have the killer running back duo, Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram Jr. But Mark Ingram suspended for 4 games for PEDs. So Alvin Kamara will definitely be taking up the slack. Good fantasy pickup if you can get him. The offensive line for the Saints is top notch. Great. They did a great draft pick as well. But the defense is just so bad. But looking at the numbers, we got 16-1 to win Super Bowl. Not a bad pick. Win totals are 9.5. Last year they went 11. So if this is the same team, they should easily pick that up. Strength of schedule, though, pretty rough. They're tied for second. Strength of schedule. That's why they marked them down a couple games. But the division, they went 4-2. But I think they'll do just as good as last year. I think they should win at least 10, 11 games easily. So that'd be a good pickup to bet the over at 9.5. All right, next is the Atlanta Falcons. What they do in the offseason, they released tight end Levine Tolio to Detroit. Pretty much the same as Saints. They got the same team as normal, a couple of re-signings. They drafted Calvin Ridley from Alabama. He did 2,781 yards in his 3 years there. So that was a great draft there. Their O-line's probably better than the Saints. Matt Ryan's average play last year, he went 20 TDs and 12 interceptions, where the Super Bowl year, he went 38 TDs and 7 interceptions. So he definitely degraded a little bit last year. Julio Jones returns after a small holdout. He was second in drops last year with 7. And Mohamed Sanu had 6 drops. So either Matt Ryan throws that ball awfully hard, or they're need to order some stickum there in Atlanta. Devontae Freeman, third highest paid running back in the league. Offense is great. Defense, probably a little bit better than the Saints. I don't know. I can't tell you who's going to win this division, Saints or Falcons. It's going to be one of those two teams, just like last year. Only one game apart that held them between the two teams last year. Looking at the Super Bowl odds, 20-1. Like I said, it's a little bit better odds than the Saints. The win totals are 9. Last year they went 10. Strength of schedule a little bit less than the Saints, so it might be a good pickup to take the over 9 win totals. Division same as Saints, 4-2. They'll probably split the wins again this year. check that out. Definitely taking the over on the Falcons. Next is the Carolina Panthers. A lot of releases. They released safety Kurt Coleman to New Orleans. They released defensive end Charles Johnson, who retired. They released running back Jonathan Stewart to the Giants. He's 31, so he's getting up there in age. They released cornerback Teddy Williams to free agency. They traded Darryl Worley to the Eagles, but they picked up on that deal the wide receiver Torrey Smith, because they need some receivers. Let's see what else they did. They signed running back C.J. Anderson from the Denver Broncos. They still have Christian McCaffrey, who's more or less a receiving running back, good out of the backfield. They drafted wide receiver DJ Moore from the University of Maryland. He's a rookie. It's a good pick there. So they're strengthening up their offensive wide receivers. Greg Olsen, tight end, he broke his foot last year. I think it was week 2. This year they signed him for a 2-year extension. I thought he was going to go up in the broadcast booth like he did a little bit last year. I thought he was going to retire, but they signed him another 2 years. He's 33, and this is his 12th season, so see if he has the gas left in the tank. Also, what's new? The Cam has a new quarterback coach, so they want him to run less and throw more. See how that works out. Like I said, they have issues with the receivers, but they're trying to compensate for that. They have a weak secondary, but the front D line is they look pretty good. They have a good D line. So looking at the numbers for the Carolina Panthers, they're 35-1 to win the Super Bowl. They got them at 9 win totals. They were 11-5 last year, granted, but Cam Newton's never had back-to-back winning seasons. I think they'll probably go like a 7-9 this year at the most. I mean, this is a good chance to place the under on this team. In the division, they went 3-3 last year, but the Falcons and Saints look top-notch, and Carolina has lost a lot of players. So I'm going to go definitely on the under 9 on this team. And last but not least are my Tampa Bay Buccaneers, my second favorite team. I watched them in the last 10 years being in Tampa. See what they released running back Doug Martin to Oakland. They released the defensive tackle Chris Baker to Cincinnati, but I think they released him. He's a free agent. Let me give you this story here. They lost center Joe Hawley. He retired. He played. He's been in the NFL for I think. I don't know, I want to say 7 years, something like that. He donated everything, gave it all up to live in his 2007 Ford van and with his little rescue dog, and to go retire the NFL to travel the United States in that 2007 van. Can you say concussion protocol? But if you want to check him out, is Man Van Dog Blog on YouTube. Check it out. Man Van Dog Blog. Crazy. That's all I got to say. Next, they re-signed Ryan Fitzpatrick to a 1-year contract. Another one. Because Jameis Winston suspended for the first 3 games as he was groping a female Uber driver. So yeah, I don't think the Bucs think Winston's going to be their long-term quarterback. And in my opinion, I like Fitzpatrick a lot better than Winston. But that's me as a fan talking. But I see a lot better play in that one. They also released defensive end Robert Ayers to Detroit. They traded the 2018 third and fourth picks to the Giants for defensive end Jason Pierre-Paul. He's up there in age as well. I can't say that's a good idea. These Bucs are a mess, pretty much. And I like to see them do well, but I don't see them doing much this year. I've been saying that for years. I'd heard a lot of prognosticators saying, "Yeah, the Bucs are going to do great." No, I know the Bucs. No, they ain't. Oh, another thing is they grabbed the Pierre Paul because, you know, they were last in sacks last year. Dead last. 32nd, 2017. All right, now looking at the numbers here for the Bucks, with 75-1 to win the Super Bowl. They predicted to win 6.5 win totals. Last year they only won 5. Did they improve? No. Maybe because Jameis Winston sitting out, maybe they improved the extra game. But the strength of schedule is at 4, so they got a tough schedule this year. They only went 1-5 in the division. They had a hard division. I'm definitely taking the under on this one. That's probably my bet of the year, is taking the under with the Bucks. So that's it for the video. Like and subscribe. Next week is football. Expect to see my predictions video against the spread. I got some new formats. You gotta wait and see. I also have some pools I'm gonna be joining, and those are free if you wanna, you know, try to do better than me in the season. And I will see you next week. Peace. IPTV service with over 2,000 channels, HD and 4K, VOD, PPV, and the Sunday Ticket. 24/7 channels and so much more. All this starting at $10 a month. Go to halfmoon.kstreams.tv to sign up, find out more. You enjoy placing a few bucks on your favorite team? Maybe try your hand at cards or on the slot. Use me as a reference and click the link in the description below and receive a new member bonus and help support this channel. Bovada, just better.